In this video, I'm going to be using a Canon Rebel T7 to photograph the Milky Way from my backyard. I'm not going to be using a tracker, but instead a $20 Mercury tripod. The lens I'm going to be using is a Rokinon 14mm f2.8 set at f4. So here's my camera right here. This is the camera that I'm going to be using, the Canon T7. So what camera settings am I going to be using tonight? First of all, we have bulb mode on because we have an intervalometer that I'll show you here in a second. I have an intervalometer also connected, if you didn't know. It's a JJC intervalometer right here. JJC intervalometer. Turn it on, it takes an exposure. Obviously, that's going to be way too bright if you look at it because it is currently still daytime. But the sun is setting soon, so we will be able to photograph the Milky Way soon. If we go back to here, as you see, we can click info. There's an info button somewhere, Q. We can select what we want. So I'm going to use ISO for this camera. The best ISO is 1600. Since we're doing the Milky Way, we can do longer exposures, and there's going to be a lot of light pollution. And by the way, if you're wondering, this camera is modified. But yes, since we're doing this from my backyard, this is going to be very light polluted. And I'm going to point it up around right here in the middle of the sky where the Milky Way actually is. It's actually not in the dead center right now. It's like right here. So I'm going to point it like maybe right here. Lock it down. Go over here a little so we catch the better parts of it. And there we go. So when we do this, we're also going to have to focus. So I'm going to be using f4 settings, as I already said. There's a star in the frame. Guys, I am currently subtracting the Milky Way background from the Milky Way, from the images last night. And as you can see, there is a lot of light pollution to be subtracted. So here is my current image of the Milky Way right here. As you can see, I have this current image right here. This is with the subtracted background. As you can see, the Milky Way is barely visible. And this is with over like probably 5 minutes worth of data in total. I know it's not a lot, but I only had like 50 images that before it started to trail because I didn't have it on a tracker. So because when I actually took about like 600 frames, but without the tracker it's really hard to stack the frames without them smearing all over the sides of the images. So that's what I did, and I only have 50 frames, which is really like 5 minutes worth, I think. But yeah.